never an objective to close faster, it's an objective to close the deal. Can't see the forest because of the trees, I would say. I'm consistently checking reports and dashboards. Every now and then, obviously I have to take a step back and make sure that I see the full picture. What I like doing is also making sure that I have at least one more pair of eyes to identify the gaps, interesting trends, but yeah, can't see the forest because of the trees. I think this is what a CRM would say. I would actually say don't ever aim to close a deal faster. I don't believe that closing a deal faster is even an objective. I do believe that if we do everything the right way, if we stick to the methodology, it might naturally happen where there is urgency and need from the customer side. I genuinely believe that the fastest way to close a deal faster is basically sticking to the methodology, identifying customer objectives, identifying the pain, demonstrating the platform in a way that emphasize and link the value added to the identified pain. Of you go to a proof of concept and evaluation where needed, a commercial discussion, and a closing plan. I believe that the shortcuts will only slow us down, so it's never an objective to close faster, it's an objective to close the deal. I would say that it is probably be willing to lose a deal in order to earn the credibility and eventually even winning back the very same deal. So if I try to unfold this, more often than not in sales, we have to say no. But it should never be communicated as my way or the highway. This will never work. I think it's important to invest time and a lot of thoughts in building compelling argument to explain why we do this and why we cannot do that, basically explain how the business model works. And I believe that when done properly, this is a key to build trust and position ourselves as experts. So even the no that we communicate can be eventually can help us actually to build trust and rapport and win back the deal. There is a very common and old, I would say, I will be bold enough to say a conservative myth saying that the customer is always right. And in my view, it can't be the ultimate truth. Assuming that we are the industry experts, there must be some teaching, there must be some guidance that we can provide throughout the sales process. And obviously, once the rapport is established, once we have trust, we're in a much better position to challenge the customer and guide them throughout the process. They don't always write. But every now and then I still come across requests for non-mutual contractual terms, I would say. It might be an exit clause only for one side, crazy liability terms for medium-sized deals, even small deals. Every now and then I come across something as such. This happens not often, but it happens every now and then. Yeah. Make it warm. It is all about making it warm. By the way, working on recommended accounts with intent signals tailored to your needs can definitely help here. But I would say it's all about making it warm. Other than that, it is crucial to be well prepared prior to the call, prior to the meeting, so you can quickly extract pain and convey value. There is never a second chance for first impression. I do see that building strong rapport with the customer mitigates ignorance later down the road. So I do believe that following an agreed process with the customer, involving a wider buying committee and influencers is key to avoid ignorance and to avoid dead lead. However, if this is still happens, I would actually adhere to the agreed timeline, to the pain that had been identified, to the value, to the urgency that had been acknowledged earlier in the process, and I will try to tackle that and revive the dead lead. I would say that putting myself in a customer's shoes is critical, thinking about their business objective and their own personal value, what's in it for them. I would also respect their line of thought. Once I do that, I do see that it is putting me in a much better position to explain why I believe that they need to revisit their expectation or plan. It is never one day in a week, but I am tracking pacing of many indicators from close one to pipe creation to lead generation. I look on the positive, on the negative indicators of the business that basically impact the NDR. And I would always try to identify signals for what is working, what might need to be improved.